Hey guys, Kishiryu here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Kishiryu Series 04 Deluxe Tigerance from Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger. This is Ryusoul Green's Kishiryu partner, which can combine with the other Kishiryu and Kishiryu. The set includes Tigerance and the Green Ryusoul. So, let's get started. First up, we'll look at the included Green Ryusoul. So, this Ryusoul is based on the Smilodon, or saber-toothed tiger, something you haven't seen in a dino-themed Sentai since the original Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger, though there is a bit of an oddity that I'll get to once we take a look at Tigerance himself. So, you've got the unique design with the saber-toothed tiger upper jaw here. You've got the ears, the silver plating down here, coming to head at this fang. Continuing the trend of the Ryusouls each having a different eye color. For the Green Ryusoul, it has an orange eye. Then you have the same standard design, with this lower part meant to be the lower jaw, as well as the section back here, which has the Ryusoulger symbol. Next, we'll flip it up into night mode. Here we can see, has this helmet here, with a unique visor. This has got the cat ears up here. You got the Tigerance symbol here on the shield. And you have its weapon, which is this unique two-pronged sword. Of course, this is the Ryusoul of Ryusoul Green. And you can see that the helmet of the Ryusoul is meant to look like that of Ryusoul Green himself. We're going to see a better look at the details, and you can see that it has the saber-toothed tiger design up top with the ears, and the visor also comes down into a pair of fangs here and here. Next, we'll test out the Green Ryusoul with the Ryusoul Changer. So, as usual, we'll flip it into night mode, insert it into the changer, then flip around the visor. And of course, the transformation is the same, and here we have the transformation for Ryusoul Green. Where we now have the green feather on top, and you can see the symbol through the window. Then we can press the button to summon Tigerance. Next, we'll test out the Green Ryusoul with the Ryusouken. So this makes the basic slashing sounds. You can press and hold the trigger for the character phrase. Strong and swift. Ryusoul Green. Then we have the Kenbone attack. Which is the basic one like all the other transformation Ryusouls. After that, we'll move on to the main part of the set, which is Tigerance himself. So, as described earlier, this guy is a green saber-toothed tiger, but as I also said, there's a little bit of an oddity there, in which even though he is definitely based on the Smilodon saber-toothed tiger, within the lore of the series, he's actually supposed to be created from a made-up dinosaur called the Tigersaurus, which is something odd. It seems like they want to make them all be, in technicality, based on dinosaurs, even though every dinosaur-based Sentai has had at least a few creatures in them that were not technically dinosaurs, but just prehistoric creatures. So it's weird that they would basically just create a made-up name for something that actually exists. But that's what it is. So, of course, the main body is the standard Bandai green plastic. He's got some silver armoring on his head, shoulders, and back. See all the nice details here for the head with the orange eyes and the two saber teeth. Has some accents in gold on the front legs, and back here on this kind of armor piece. And see some nice details with the gunmetal claws. You got the tail back here. And then on the other side we have the big lance weapon, which is the second part of his name, being Tiger and Lance, Tigerance. As far as connection points go, or Ryusoul joints, got these here, on both shoulders, as well as the back ones. Got one here, and here, as well as some over here. Now as far as the pieces go, you have the head, front body, or upper body and lower body. Two armor pieces, one that sticks here, and then one that is connecting the tail to the back. And then the lance piece. You see there are also some Ryusoul joint connectors here on the lance, as well as some ports in the back, and on the backs of these two armor pieces. Now, Tigerance actually has a little bit of articulation similar to Tiramigo, in that the legs can be rotated around to various spots using the joints in them. Additionally, the tail is actually on a swivel, to where both pieces can be swiveled back and forward, side to side, without coming apart. Now if you want to go for a slightly more symmetrical design, what you can do is detach these pieces, take just the main back of the tail, connect it in there, connect this piece here, then place the lance piece up top. There was actually another alternate formation, one that's in the instructions proper. So for that, I'm going to leave it like this, or at least leave these pieces back here. Take off the tail. We're actually going to split it in half into a V shape to create a set of wings. Attach it on top like so. And then you can see that there are some holes within the front and sides of Tigerance's jaw. So we're going to take the lance piece, sticking out like this, and stick it into the mouth so that's holding it like a weapon. So you've got that going on. And you can have it on the other side or in the front. But one more cool thing you can do is you can actually take the lance piece, and if you flip it like this and plug it into the back like so, and turn that into the tail. So even with just Tigerance itself, there's an amount of customization and playability that is certainly different than the likes of Tiramigo or the two small size ones, Tricaine and Ankylosing. This and Ryusoul Black's upcoming Kishiryu are both medium-sized Kishiryu, so they have some parts to work with. Next, we'll combine Tigerance with Kishiryu 3 Knights. So to prepare Kishiryu, we're going to remove the Tiramigo head, and then the armaments on the lower arms, or the forearms rather. Then we'll completely disassemble Tigerance with the tail, armor piece from both sides, the lance, split the body in two, and remove the head. So to start, we're going to take this half of the body and place it over here. And take the other half and place it on here. Take these pieces and, having them facing forward, plug them onto the sides of the legs. Take the tail piece, split it open completely, then plug that onto the chest. Take the head and plug it onto this port here, then put it in Kishiryu's right hand. And finally, we'll take the green Ryusoul and switch it with the red Ryusoul. And here we have Kishiryu Tiger Lance. So let's take a look. Coming into the head, we now have the green Ryusoul as the head, which changes up the visor quite a bit. It has a very interesting design where you can see it has a raised night visor, but then that night visor forms into a mask covering the face, and of course coming down into a pair of saber teeth. You've got this new chest plate here, which has 4 golden teeth molded onto it. It's now equipped with a pair of claw weapons on each arm, as well as this new lance weapon, though it's more like a broadsword of sorts, as well as jet boosters on the legs. There's a very different look to it. There are a couple of things that I like to do to modify this. The first is to take off this claw piece and basically just move this down so it's more flush with the arm. It doesn't stick out as much. Then I prefer to take these pieces and basically have them facing downwards instead of forward, so that they're more in line with the body lines. Though another thing you can do is that you can take these and place them onto the front on the knees. Now, while you can technically plug them into both knee joints, it's not something I'd recommend, because if you look carefully you can see that it's not fully on there, meaning that by having it like this, you're technically stretching out the upper 2 ports. So, for attaching to the knees, I like to have them lowered a little bit, so that it's only making use of one of the joints and not straining it. Additionally, because of this new chest piece, it does slightly hinder the articulation, though not too much, as you can still bend the arms 90 degrees. You just can't bend them past that. But it does mean that you can get Kishiryu Tiger Lance into a couple of poses, making use of what articulation it does have. And of course, thanks to the Ryusoul joint system, we can also make alternate combinations, so I'll be showing you guys the ones illustrated in the box and instructions. The first one involves Tiramigo and Tigerance. For Tiramigo, we're going to remove the can pieces and set them aside. And we'll just be using a few parts from Tigerance, which will be the front half of the body and the 2 guard pieces. For the body, we'll flip the legs back like this, plug one can onto the bottom, and one onto the front, then plug it on top of Tiramigo on the front joints, and we'll plug the guard pieces onto the side joints of Tiramigo's legs. And it's complete. Now with these combinations, there were not any names for them listed in the instructions, so feel free to make up your own. This combination definitely increases the firepower of Tiramigo. Now we have this larger can with another can here, and a couple of laser blasters formed by the legs. For the next combination, we'll use Tigerance, Tricane, Ankylose, and these 3 pieces from Tiramigo. So, for Tigerance, I'm going to remove all the pieces from the body, but keep that together. Then flip forward the front legs 90 degrees and stand them up. I'll take one of the guard pieces and plug it on to the upper part of the body. Then we'll split apart Tricane and Ankylose and keep their back halves. Then plug the drill pieces into them. And stick them on the sides as arms. I'll take the can piece, plug Tigerance's head onto the bottom, tilt the cannons forward like this, and plug it on top. And here we have an interesting kind of humanoid combination for Tigerance, where it's now its own little mini-mech. And thanks to the way the joints work, it does have a bit of articulation. Definitely a more unorthodox combination, which I realized that I screwed up a little bit, and it should be like this. There we go. Now it's probably done. And for the final two combinations, we'll start with Kishiryu and Tigerance. So, Tigerance, going to split it up into its different pieces. And again, just make use of a few of them, which would again be the front half of the body and the guard pieces. For Kishiryu, we'll remove the drills and the cannons. They'll leave the chest on. We'll plug the guard pieces into the arms. Something like that. We'll rotate the leg like this and place one of the cannons onto there. Then remove the head. Then take the drill pieces and plug them onto the sides so that they're facing upwards. And finally plug that onto the chest. So we now have a version of Kishiryu with just Tigerance pieces, which I guess you would call Kishiryu 2 Knights. Oh, and at least according to the instructions, it also makes use of the green Ryusoul head. They've got, again, combination just makes use of Kishiryu and Tigerance with a giant chest cannon, though naturally that does limit the outward movement of the arms. But for the next one, we'll leave on the green head, plug back on chest, then remove these pieces and start again. So, going to bring in the back half of Ankylose, plug that onto the arm here, make use of the front half of Tricane for the right arm, rotate the tailpiece, or the hammer, so it's like this, and plug the guard pieces onto the side, and actually for that, we technically need to move this downwards one position. We'll split open tail and plug it here on the arm. We'll take the back half of Tigerance and plug it onto the shoulder here. And finally, take one of the drill pieces, plug on Tigerance's head, and attach it to the shoulder, facing like this. And now we have what's basically an alternate version of Kishiryu Tigerance, which now uses Tigerance for the shoulders, as well as having this big weapon on the left arm, which has both the claws attached to the head, as well as this big shield piece, which is certainly, which I'd say is probably the most interesting of the combinations that the instructions give you, though of course, you can make your own by using the various joints and pieces available. And there we go. Overall, Tigerance is excellent both on its own and when using combinations. Thanks to having 7 pieces like Chiramigo, you can make use of different combinations for itself and change around how it looks. Additionally, it can combine to make the very cool Kishiryu Tigerance, and thanks to those various pieces, you can make a whole bunch of new combinations with both the individual Kishiryu and with Kishiryu. And that's something that I'm really liking about this line is, we are just 4 we're basically just 4 mechs in, and we already have a ton of playability, because the more pieces we add, the more possibilities occur with all the new joints and all the new ways that you can use them. So if you have Kishiryu in the Kishiryu 3 Night set, I can definitely recommend picking him up. Next time I'll be reading the Deluxe Geo Trinity Ride Watch. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and if you're new and would like to see more, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. And for now, this is KRX50, riding off.